can you put the map up so we see where everyone lives in proximity? Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see when I was making the time. Lovely. So, I can't talk my head, darling.
Are we ready to go live, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, thank you. So, as mentioned, we have requested to have a map of the area. It's good, excellent. And I understand there's an extra objector speaking. Who is that?
Me,
And your name is?
Nikki Copeman.
And how do you spell that?
Copeman.
Copeman. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great.
It is.
So, welcome to RBKC's licensing subcommittee and thank you for attending. This hearing is being live streamed. I'm Councillor Janet Evans and I will be chairing this meeting. The committee for this hearing comprises Councillor Toby Benton, Councillor Pretty Hudd, and me. We are joined by Paul Phelan from the Council's licensing team, our legal officer, Lindsay Masurier, and also with us are our committee officers, Holly Weaver and Jerome Krieger. Before we start the hearing for this case, just a few ground rules. Please keep your microphones on mute until you are invited to speak, or we don't have it, so just keep your phones on mute, please. The case before us today is to grant a license from Mucci's Cafe, 425 Kings Road. Now for declarations of interest. I confirm that I have no declaration of interest to make regarding this item. Do the other members have any declarations to make? Councillor Benton?
No declarations, Chair.
Councillor Hudd?
No.
Okay. Thank you, colleagues. For clarity, I will outline the procedure of the meeting, which has already been circulated with the papers. First, the licensing officer, Mr. Phelan, will give a brief outline of the application. Please, could you confirm your attendance?
Good morning, Chair. Present.
Good morning. Then I will ask Mr. Giuseppe Mucci, the applicant, to present his submission. He will have up to a maximum of 10 minutes to do so. Please, could you confirm your attendance?
I'm here, yes.
Yes, just because the camera's going. So. Okay, then questions may be asked of the applicant by members of the committee, the legal officer, and the objectors. Next, the objectors. Amalia Cabrera. Yes. Will you be speaking? Okay. Dina Paget Stevenson.
Yeah, hi.
You'll be speaking.
Well, I put it all in my email, but if
Okay.
you want to reiterate that, that's fine, but it's all done.
Yeah, very good. You could also answer questions. Good. Sharon Baker and Christine, are you both speaking?
I would like to say we put our objections in the letter, but we will answer questions, obviously.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
And then we have Ms. Copeman, you were speaking.
Yes.
You'll have up to a maximum of 10 minutes each to do so. Although I would ask that you do not repeat the same points as one another, please. And please, could you all confirm your attendance? Thank you. Mr. Mucci, you will have up to 10 minutes as well. Then questions may be asked of the objectors by members of the committee, the legal officer, and the applicant. After this, we will ask our legal officer, Ms. Masurier, to deal with any questions she may have, and then she will lead on the draft conditions session. The list of potential conditions has been circulated to all parties prior to the hearing. Please, could you confirm your attendance?
Present Chair.
Thank you. Finally, we will turn to the governance team to see if any issues have been raised that we need to consider. There will be no summing up and the meeting will end. I would like to remind everyone that the committee has read the papers which comprise the main pack and the additional submissions that have been circulated to the parties. So there is no need to repeat their content, but please do draw our attention to certain points and pages. Let's get going. Mr. Phelan, please can you outline the case for us and advise if there has been any additional documentation received?
Chair, members of the subcommittee, good morning. The matter before you today is an application by Sanjay Baisi Restaurants Limited for the grant of a new premises license in respect of Moochie's Cafe 425 Kings Road, London, SW100LR. The application seeks authorization for the sale by retail of alcohol on and off the premises and for the playing of recorded music indoors. The hours applied for are 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Sunday for the playing of recorded music, and 11 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. daily for the sale of alcohol. The premises will be open to the public from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. each day. The applicant describes the premises as a small cafe with a customer area accommodating a maximum of 6 seated guests indoors and 4 seated guests outdoors at any one time. For reference, Chair, a copy of the application is attached to Appendix A, and plans of the premises are attached at Appendix B. This application has attracted 29 representations opposing the grant of the licence. A summary of these representations is provided on pages 8 and 9 of today's report. The objections primarily relate to the concerns around public nuisance, public safety, and the prevention of crime and disorder, particularly in relation to noise, alcohol-related antisocial behaviour, forecourt activity, smells from cooking, and the impact on the surrounding residential setting. A representation was also submitted by the Noise and Nuisance team under the Prevention of Public Nuisance. This representation has since been withdrawn following the agreement of additional conditions with the applicant. A copy of the agreed conditions is provided with the additional documents circulated in advance of today's hearing. Also circulated ahead of today's hearing is a letter from a Miss Sabriro. This appears to duplicate the content of the original representation, which was already included in the report, Chair. At the time of writing the report, the licensing authority confirms that no noise or nuisance complaints have been received in the past 24 months, no temporary event notices have been submitted in the past 12 months, and the planning department has not made a formal representation and confirmed that there are no planning permissions or restrictions that would conflict with the application. For context, extracts of the Secretary of State guidance and the Council's licensing policy are included within appendices F and G. Chair, members, you will now hear from the applicant and from those who have made representations. I'm happy to provide any further clarification as required. Thank you, Chair. I'll leave it there for now.
Thank you. Just one question. Can we establish, has it been open already or not?
I think that might be a question for the applicant to advise.
Okay.
I don't have that information to hand.
And we start with that premise.
It's not open.
It's not open. No, because I walked by and it was closed. That's why we weren't sure. Okay, thank you very much. Now for your case, Mr. Mucci, can you advise if there have been any amendments to your application?
No, we had the objection from the environmental officer and I agree to all of them.
Okay, very good.
So that was the change to the application.
Okay,
MRI support.
You did agree to those conditions, absolutely.
okay, can you present your submission?
Yes, I have a statement for you.
Okay, that's fine.
Good morning, Chair, members, and officers. My name is Giuseppe Mucci, Director of Sangiovese Restaurant Limited, an applicant for Mucci's Cafe, 425 Kings Road. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm the owner of Mucci's Restaurant, a premium Italian restaurant at 442 Kings Road, operating for the past 6 years without a single complaint from police, neighbors, or council. The restaurant is well known for its quality and atmosphere. My staff wear suits, and the venue's beautiful design with marble finishes, plants, flowers, and even a signature red carpet entrance, all part of creating a welcoming, elegant environment we're proud of. Many guests have said that we brought a touch of Chelsea glamour to a corner that once struggled with antisocial behavior. We will bring the same standard of professional management and calm environment to the cafe, because that's exactly what our clientele expect from us. The cafe is directly opposite my restaurant and forms part of a council-owned building. When I took my lease, my lawyers worked closely with the council legal team for over 3 months to ensure that every clause and use condition was compliant. The shop was then completely rebuilt under the council's own specification. The cafe represented £200,000 personal investment to transform what was a deteriorated plumbing shop into a beautiful modern cafe, a real improvement for the area. The customer area, I would like to ask, can we put up the floor plan of the cafe? I've seen it earlier. Thank you. Just as a reference. The customer areas is the yellow one, which is highlighted as guest area. So the customer's area is only 4 by 2 meters, about 8 square meters, with seating for just 6 guests. For context, my restaurant serves up to 150 guests daily, including 50 outdoors during the summer, without any incident whatsoever. The cafe menu will focus on coffee, cakes, pastry in the morning, and pizza, pasta, and panini throughout the day. It's not a late night venue. There is no bar, there is no standing area, and no amplified music. We applied for an alcohol license purely for complementing our food offer. For example, so customers can enjoy a glass of wine or beer with the pizza, including for takeaway and delivery. Without that flexibility, we will lose customers who expect that option. I'm going to structure my statement around the 4 licensing objectives. Number 1, prevention of crime and disorder. Our business model is entirely food-led, seated and relaxed. There is no bar area, no vertical drinking, and no late night service. Alcohol will only be served with food from 12 p.m. to 10:30, and the cafe will be closed at 11 p.m. We attract local residents and regulars from my restaurants, not a drinking crowd. We will operate a CCTV system covering the entrance, the forecourt, the back of the shop, and all staff will be trained in responsible alcohol service and the Challenge 25 policy. Number 2, public safety. The cafe has been fully refurbished in accordance with the building and fire regulations, with the clear escape routes and certified safety systems. Environmental health confirmed that our ventilation, lighting, and kitchen extraction meet all requirements. Delivery and collection will take place safely from King's Road, not Ann Lane, to avoid any disturbance or congestion behind the premises. All waste will be managed through a private collection company, as we already successfully do at the restaurant. Waste bags are stored neatly and collected promptly with no disturbance to neighbors. Public safety is fully safeguarded. Number 3, prevention of public nuisance. This has been the main focus of the consultation, and I followed all the requests from the Principal Environmental Health Officer, Mr. Philip Richardson. I accepted all his conditions, which cover background music indoors only at a low volume, no noise or vibration audible in neighboring properties, no odor nuisance from cooking, restricted hours for waste and deliveries, and a delivery policy ensuring drivers wait quietly at the front with engines switched off. As a result, environmental health withdrew his objection. The agreed conditions also include a small forecourt will close at 10 p.m., ensuring customers are sitting in the area is clear and quietly at the end of the evening. No outdoor speakers. Clear signage asking guests to live quietly and respect neighbors. And food couriers for takeaway orders will use, again, King's Road entrance only. I understand that some residents live directly above the cafe, and I completely respect the need for peace. With these agreed controls in place, there is no realistic prospect of nuisance. Number 4, protection of children from harm. we fully understand our responsibilities under the Licensing Act 2003 and have built our operating procedures around its 4 licensing objectives. The cafe is quiet, food-led nature, and responsible staff training ensure it remains a safe and well-managed environment at all times. There is no scope for risk or disorder of any kind. This was my statement, and I would like once again, before I finish, to highlight that the guest area is particularly small. It's the size of a residential toilet, to be honest. Done.
Right, thank you very much, Mr. Mucci. Okay, first, the committee will be asking questions. Councillor Benton.
Thank you, Chair. Just some small question about the hours, about the 7 a.m. start.
Yes, sir.
Just to speak, I mean, I think that's quite early. If I'm wrong, if they're wrong, then tell me why.
Well, it's a cafe, sir.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the business. Is the people before go to work, they get a coffee. There are cafes that are only 20, 30 meters away. They're open even earlier than that.
I think actually you're highlighting what the question was, which is I think some people weren't sure if it's called just because it's called a cafe, it's going to operate as a cafe. So you're saying it is the early morning coffee on the way to work?
That's our prime focus, sir. If people start to work at 8, they will need to grab a coffee on the way to work.
Understood. Yeah. Thank you. And also very quickly, I'm not quite sure if the agreed what was agreed with environmental health about music. You weren't sure about the distinction between recorded music and background music. You know, background music isn't licensable. You know, obviously that's covered. It's not meant to be heard outside and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Is that what we're talking about? Was that the recorded music part of the application? Is it just background music or?
It's background music, sir.
Okay.
Again, cafe, relax, like many others. They will have a bit of background music, classical music, soft chill music, very small speakers are already in place. At the end of the day, if I'm opening a cafe, I have to follow the cafe style.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I think that was the question, was because, you know, that doesn't always need to be licensed. You know, background music is a sort of different category to recorded music that's played, you know, at a different body. But so it's just background music.
Background music.
That's my question, Shannon. Thank you.
Can I just interject here? Do you need to have the playing of recorded music as a licensable activity if it's just going to be background music? You don't need to have a license for just background music. But obviously, if you're going to be playing recorded music, you do. And Mr. Phelan can correct me. In any event, because of the deregulated provisions, you don't need to have it's deregulated between the hours of 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. So even if you do apply for recorded music, it's deregulated between 8 and 11. So it would just be between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. that you'd be wanting to play recorded music, which can be amplified. So I think we need to be clear, is it really recorded music you want, or is it just background music?
And we need to clarify, maybe the governance can, or you can, what is the difference between recorded and background? I mean, if he puts on, it's a pizza place, if he puts on Pavarotti in the background, is that going to be recorded music or is that background music? Is it based on volume, or what is it? What is the difference here in this context?
I might be able to provide some clarity on that, Chair. And my understanding is that the background music wouldn't essentially impede on sort of normal conversation, if you see what I mean.
I see. Right.
It's not a set definition per se, but it's obviously there's a difference between what would be background and, for example, music, but also actually entertain individuals, for example.
So it's the volume.
Well, it can be a volume, but it's my sort of guide there is that it's all to do with the sort of level in which the music is played at, but more importantly, whether or not you can have a normal conversation.
That would be the test.
That would be the test as far as I know.
And it can be amplified if it's recorded music.
Just to be clear, that the deregulation allows for any playing of recorded music between the hours of 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. on any day on a premises authorised to sell alcohol for consumption on those premises under a premises licence or club premises certificate, at a time when the premises are open for the purposes of being used for the supply of alcohol for consumption on that premises, provided that audience does not exceed 500 individuals. So there's a couple of caveats there.
So it can be advertised.
Yes, that's correct.
Do you sorry, Mr. Ritchie, do you understand what we're discussing here? Well, I think what we're
I'm not an
discussing.
expert, to be honest.
Yes.
As long as you understand it's gonna be a background music. I mean, as I said, a customer that has a restaurant and we play music and it's never been a nuisance. And the cafe is gonna be even lower
Yeah.
with intensity.
So are you planning, so in any event, if you get the alcohol license, you can play music between 8 AM and 11 PM because it's deregulated anyway. So it's not something we can, no, if
Any
it's,
music.
yeah, any music, we can't control that, it's deregulated by government. But obviously between 7 AM and 8 AM, you're not planning amplified music, are you?
Again, we need to define amplified music. Again, I'm not
Loud
an
music,
expert.
loud
No,
music.
it's not gonna be loud, madam. It's never gonna be loud. I want to clarify one thing. I played in orchestra for 10 years. I studied the conservatory of music. I played the horn, I played the trumpet. I'm a lover of classical music. That is the music that I intend to play in the cafe. Classical music on a very low background. It's not gonna be the main factor of the atmosphere, but I think it's a good touch when you walk inside a cafe. At a certain level, otherwise it's disturbing the customers, that especially in the morning at that time, they don't want to walk inside a club.
I think what I'm trying to get at is, do you want to withdraw your bit about fine for recorded music if you're able to do it anyway during deregulated hours? But obviously, the little blip is between 7 AM and 8 AM.
No, I would like to have the ability to play music at 7 AM when we open.
Background music, or
Background music.
I think the committee will take it. Yeah, I think, well, you'll get your chance in a minute to ask
I
questions.
just wanted, just for your clarity,
Yeah.
and it's not about my point of
Yeah.
view. So the properties at the top are 1954. There's no sound installation. So you can hear,
Everything.
chairs, Fantorio's restaurant, we've had that.
Yeah, you can
When you
say
speak,
that in
you
your
can
case.
I don't live on the top, but I used to be chair for 10 years. So
I think we'll wait till it's
thank
your
you.
turn.
That is
Okay.
no problem. Thank you.
Okay, all right, so all right, fine, I think the committee can take you, but obviously we've covered what our concerns are in relation to that.
Right.
Sorry. Thank you.
Okay, councillor.
Chair, if I can just clarify, the amplified aspect for live music is tied into the premises being able to put the supply of alcohol for consumption on, and it's the same with recording music. So providing the premises done for themselves, then they would benefit from that deregulation you're talking about.
But if they didn't have alcohol, they could still do
Unamplified.
unamplified music, yeah,
Just to give that clarity there.
okay, so unamplified is without alcohol. Everybody understand that, sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Sorry.
Okay, councillor Hunt, do you have any questions?
Sure, thank you, Chair. Mr. Ritchie, could you just clarify, you said from 7 AM to 11 AM, you'll be selling sort of breakfast, lunchy items. And then from 11 AM, you have the lunch, the piece.
12 PM, 12 PM.
12 PM, okay, thank you. And could you also clarify, sorry, going back to the music again, would you consider not playing any background music at all from 7 AM to 8 AM?
No.
You would want the music from
It's
7
part of
AM?
the atmosphere. I think it's very important to work inside a place that it's well decorated and it's with an elegant staff and with a nice background music. I think it's important. I think it's
Are you
part-
insulated?
Have you, yeah.
It's for him to
Sounds
answer.
okay. That was going to be, thank you, Chair. What sort of insulation does your cafe have?
There's no insulation. There is a false ceiling. There are, I believe, there is a concrete floor of at least 50 centimeters depth. Again, if it's background music, I will hardly believe that anybody can hear it from anywhere.
Okay, that's something for later debate. If you were required to provide some form of insulation in your cafe on the ceilings,
Yeah.
to have music from 7 AM, would you consider that?
No, it's a difficult job. It's an expensive job. The ceiling has been done already. It's too invasive as a measure. No.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Ritchie.
Okay. Now, yes, okay. As far as smells are concerned, what kind, you say in the morning you're just doing pastries, will you be cooking breakfast, bacon and eggs or something?
No, like an Italian cafe. To give you an idea, there's a company that very much does what we intend to do in London. It's very famous, been there for many years. It's called Caffè Concerto.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. It's a place where you can have cakes, croissant, and
But
coffee.
he does cook breakfast. Cafe Concerto.
No, but the way I'm referencing to them is that in the morning they have a cafe concept, and then during lunch you can have a pasta and salads and panini. That's why it's an Italian cafe. That's exactly what we have back home in Italy. I'm not sure if you have experience to go to Italy, but in Italy, cafe usually we don't have pubs. In Italy, we have cafe, cafeteria, and bars. So the bar is what we know what I'll do. A bar will only sell alcohol and no food. A cafe is a place where you can have continental breakfast, so no English breakfast, no food cooked, so just cakes, pastries, cornetti, and then after 12 o'clock, if somebody wants to have a quick lunch, they can have a salad, a panino, or a pasta or pizza.
Okay, now the pizza and pasta, I'll have a kitchen in this.
Yeah, it's a very big one, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, and have you figured out what to do about smells from the pizza and the?
Yeah, we figured out 3 years ago, yes.
What are you thinking to do?
Oh, we have a system that cost me £50,000. That's gonna have ESP filters, which are electromagnetic filters. They work with the pole of positive and negative, and we attract odors and smells. And then there is carbon fiber filters, which are the old school filters. And then we have attenuator for the noise. And then we have a massive fan. There's very expensive. It's silent. All the systems are indoor. Not like on the other shops of Unlane where everybody's got outdoor systems. And I agree with the residents that they are ashamed of the area. All of them, they have their extraction system on the outdoor. Some of them are probably 40 years old. I'm the first one that I get annoyed because I work in the shop and in 10 o'clock in the morning I can smell fish, I can smell all sort of, but we're not discussing that today here. I don't want to point finger to my neighboring commercial premises, but at the shop you cannot see the implants. In order to do that, the council allowed me to raise the ceiling of the back area for 1.5 meters, so that the engines they are contained in the building, and that part of the building it is insulated.
Okay.
So I didn't insulate the front shop where the music is playing because there is a concrete. We're talking about a very old building, a 1930s building. At the time, they were not doing. And this is a council block, so they were not doing anything cheap. I mean, when I did my works, we struggled to work against the concrete. I'm pretty sure that if we all go to my shop and we blast the music, nobody would be able to hear it.
Now, the other thing is, I saw in some of the complaints, people were worried that there would be fights or noise. Exactly. They were inferring that happened at the other Mucci's. But Mr. Phelan said were there any complaints against the other Mucci?
The report would only refer to the 425 Kings Road address. It doesn't make reference to the other property.
Right.
I can look into that now, but that may take some time, Chair, to look at the other property.
Yeah, let's have a look at it. Mucci's opened in 2020, just 1 month before COVID, and I can challenge you to find any complaint whatsoever. And a venue that, again, in a week can serve up to 500 customers. Post-COVID, up to 800 customers per day. Never had any complaint, never accident. But I do understand, if you may I speak?
Please.
I do understand the concern of the local resident, which is my concern too. Mucci's, particularly my restaurant, it's on a venue that used to be Magpie and Stone. It used to be the House of Thieves. It's an old pub that used to be there. We call it the House of Thieves and the Criminal. There is another pub that has been mentioned many times in the objection. There's the Riley's. Yeah, but when I moved there, it was open at the time.
Yes.
It was closing down, but it was open, and I do remember all the.
I'd rather not mention it since it's streamlined. We know what you're talking.
We know what we're
I
talking
know
about.
what you're talking about.
Well-
There's two pubs there that are closed.
Fair enough. And I agree that the area needs a relaxed shop. I agree that the area needs no antisocial behavior. I agree that the area needs somewhere that you can feel safe. And that's exactly what I did already. It's open. It's there every day. You can see it. And that's what I'm going to open as well. I want to try to bring in the nice people, the families of Chelsea, which I already do, opposite to the cafe.
Okay, now, you have anyone else? I'm gonna ask our lawyer who wants to speak.
Councillors finished with
Did
the
you have
questions?
anything else? No. No, you've been very specific, so thank you.
Thank you.
Lindsay, you wanted to?
Just one or two questions. When do you propose to open?
I'm not sure that yet. There is the shop is 85% finished, so it's missing the front shop. It's missing a lot of equipments. Unfortunately, I'm not a big company. I don't have. I'm not a millionaire. I didn't win any lottery. I'm trying to open the shop with a little bit of savings that I get from the other restaurant, but. Business in the past 2 years has been bad, not just for me, for everybody. I'm sure you're aware of the crisis that is around, and it's been a really big investment. I had to tear down a whole ceiling, a whole roof, making new, all the regulations. It looks like I'm building a spaceship, but at the end of the day, the only things that stopping me to open is cash, to be honest.
So it's 85. It's not open yet. You don't know quite yet. What was the shop before? What kind of
It was a plumber. It was in a plumber shop.
plumber?
Plumber.
Oh, okay.
Plumber.
So it wasn't open late. It was open.
No.
It was a disgraceful situation.
Okay. Right. Okay.
There
And
was
the
a lot
other
of
questions I wanted to ask. So you said that deliveries and collections are proposed to take place from Kings Road only, so nothing at the rear in St Anne's Lane.
Well, look, at the beginning, I thought Alley would have been better, and this was for a safety concern.
Yeah.
Kings Road on the pavement, it's has a high footfall, well, higher than Alley for sure. Even if it's a quiet area of Kings Road, there is still people walking past because the shops are there. The pavement is not as big. There's not many parking, but and I thought that the back on lane would have been better. Maybe the council would have helped with the dedicated motorbike parking area to keep things controlled, to keep things. Again, I'm assuming, I'm not sure if this is something that.
Are you proposing now? Just
No,
to
I'm
have-
not proposing
So
now.
nothing St Anne's Lane, but all from.
I'm just saying that at the
to
time,
narrow things down.
at the
And did you say, sorry, I know you've asked for alcohol from 11, but you said earlier on that alcohol will only be served with food from 12.
12, yes,
So not from 11.
not 12,
So alcohol is 12,
12.
not 11. Now will it always be served with food, or are you proposing to sell alcohol without food?
No. I'm happy to always be served with food, but I don't see why that should be constriction. I'm happy to serve with food. That's what we do. But again, if one day there is a couple and one of the two person wants to eat a pasta with a beer and the other person just wants a split, I don't see why I wouldn't be able to do that.
Okay, understood. I think that's it for now. Okay, thanks. Thank you very much.
Yes, the councillors have additional questions. Councillor Hyde?
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Rich, just one question. What is your capacity within your cafe for people to sit down?
5, 6
5, 6.
maximum.
Maximum.
I would say 5 to be honest, because as you can see, the main door, the front door, when it
Yeah.
opens, is too close to seat 1 and 2. I numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yes, I can
6.
see that, yeah.
Yeah, but that I think it's a bit of an optimistic scenario. To be honest, especially in winter, you wouldn't be willing to sit next at the front door. I would say 4 or 5 guests seated.
Okay.
We're talking about high stools, not sitting down.
Yeah.
It's
not a proper, yeah.
It's a bit of cafe. No, there's gonna be like a shelf on the wall
Mhm.
and a stool. So
Yeah.
you're literally in front of a wall.
Okay,
It's not a place that you stay there for hours. It's not as comfortable like the restaurant across the road.
yes, right, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, one question, please. You're aware that for the outside tables, you need a pavement license, which is separate.
I didn't apply for one because the only 2 small tables are within my premises. So there is a gap between the front shop and the end of my premises, and it's a 50 centimeters gap. So I was planning to put a 40 centimeters table.
You need to check with highways
Yeah.
department, that still could be highways.
So-
Even though it may not be publicly maintainable highway,
Mm.
it still could be classified as highway, in which case you would need a paper license. So just so that's on your radar.
Thank you. I mean, it's not gonna, the concept doesn't go around those 2 small dwarf tables, but
It's worth checking.
Yeah, just
Obviously.
so that you're aware.
if I have the opportunity, I will, yes.
Okay, and Councillor Benton?
Thank you, Chair. Well, one was actually about that, which you've just about covered. Don't underestimate the capacities of tables and chairs, offices to come around these little tables.
Yes.
I think there's a problem. But the other question was about deliveries. Is there a policy on how, if you're going to be managing, delivery, anything like that? If so, do you have a policy for sort of managing it? Is that something that you do have in premises that offer, home delivery? Is that sometimes there's an issue with, couriers or, drivers taking up the highway and all that kind of stuff? How do you see that? How do you see yourself using it for one thing?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, my idea was at the beginning to do it at the back of the shop.
Yeah.
But the environmental officer asked me a condition to do it at the front, so I agreed. And the policy is simple. The delivery, they will have to come park their scooters in a place that they are allowed to park. Definitely not on the pavement. If we see that somebody is not following the rules, we will be the first one to tell them. We will ask them to take off their helmets, to show us the order numbers. We'll ask them to wait outside. If they start to create groups of people, we will ask them not to do it, to be respectful of the public. The ignition has to be off. Really normal common sense, to be honest. Again, I followed the suggestion from the environmental office, and I don't do deliveries at Mucci's. I want to clarify one thing. You see, it's very important to understand that just across the road, I have an example business. And I don't do deliveries at Mucci's because I know that if a restaurant is busy, they can create public concerns. And my customer they wouldn't come if there were groups of drivers chatting, smoking, being loud. So Mucci's never have deliveries, and will never do. But here is a cafe, it's a small place. Our concern will be mostly because we will have only 3-4 customers, our attention will be a lot on the drivers, I would say. Contained, polite, with engines off, no on groups, following the parking regulations. That will be our main focus.
Yeah, I appreciate. Sometimes it's just helpful to get that in as much detail as possible, so that especially so objectives can have a chance to understand it. Thank you.
Yeah, especially the helmet. If I can finish, especially the helmet rule, I think is very important. Nobody does that, but to walk out in the pavement and not to be able to see who is behind those big helmets, it could be frightening for some people. So that's not something that is required, but I would like to introduce it. I would like to ask them to do it because maybe we can object that, but to see somebody's safe face, it will feel safer for the public.
And will you allow the drivers to use your facilities, the loo?
Oh, not at all. I'm sorry.
Well, that's a problem, because
Well,
otherwise they pee on King's Road.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. That's
well,
from the
well,
Queen.
this is questionable. How can you prove that all the drivers they come to me they're gonna pee on King's Road?
Well, we have experience with it.
Madam,
Is it that difficult for you to allow the drivers to prove they come in? Where is your loo compared to
my
the?
law is that we have a very small one seat guest washroom, we can call it. And if of course we have a hut. If somebody is asking for an emergency, it's a problem. But it's not a problem. But
I mean,
I'm
that's
not
really
a driver.
important to show goodwill to the neighbors.
Oh my God, we have a heart. I'm sure, but my cafe is not going to become the public toilet of all other drivers. Otherwise, I would lose the feeling of refinement, of elegance that the cafe has to have. My cafe needs to be, which is the whole core, the whole idea is that I'm not opening a nightclub, I'm not opening a pub, I'm not opening a bar, I'm opening a refined, small, elegant cafe with only small little amount of guests and with a very relaxed atmosphere. And if it becomes, I want to understand something, Councillor. The drivers, they speak to each other. If I allow one person to come today, the next day, all the delivery that they've done in Kensington, they will all know that they can come to use my toilet. I will become a public toilet.
I think, sorry, Chair, if I may.
Yes.
I think what the chair means is only the delivery drivers who are collecting from you.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah, not every delivery driver.
Well,
Only
this-
a delivery driver.
This is different. This
Okay,
is different
yeah.
because maybe Councillor, you don't have the experience, but at the restaurants, we don't do deliveries, but many drivers, bus drivers, taxi drivers, all sort of drivers, delivery drivers, not just for food, delivery drivers of the plumber, of the pharmacy, they all come to a restaurant. It's the first things that they see. It's a public house for them. And you'll be surprised to see that in a day you can have at least 10 to 15 requests, minimum per day, especially if it's a big restaurant.
Okay, so we're talking about your small premises.
Yes, very small.
You'll have, but it is a pizza place. You are going to exist on your takeaway, on your deliveries.
Yes.
Okay, so we're saying, will you agree that the drivers who come to you,
The one that they're collecting my food.
yes,
Of course.
use your loo, and
Yes.
you will make sure you enforce to get the other drivers away, because we do not want it to become a hub for line bikes or deliveries or anything like that. You want deliveries and go,
Yes.
and that's it. So you will undertake to, if they start hanging out, because we had to close a premises because all the drivers went to that one premises. So it's to your advantage that you will enforce that.
Yes. Again, if the driver is collecting my food for my customers, of course, is welcome to use the loots. But what I thought that you said is that any driver could just
No,
come in.
no, and
Okay,
not
sorry.
anyone, just.
No, because for my experience, they do. We have next to my restaurant, we have the end of the bus. Not all. It's like the final stop.
Yeah, I know where it is.
And all day long, we got bus driver, taxi driver, driver that they bring customers, driver that they do deliveries. It's a bit of a busy
Of
corner.
course.
And everybody's asking, everybody.
And you could say no.
But madam, we're trying to say no.
Yes.
If there is a little girl that's coming, we're gonna say yes. If there is an old man, person, we're gonna say yes. But the restaurant can become the public toilets of King's Road.
Of course.
And the
yeah.
restaurant is big, and the cafe is such a small place that
Yes.
if you put a big driver with a big jacket, with a big helmet in the middle of the shop, there's no space for nobody else to walk inside. Because they have this jacket, these motorbike jackets. If this guy is quite big, there's no space. 8 square meters, I don't know if you, as a reference, I think that it's 2 by 4, this square. The empty space that we see here, not including the desk, is the size of the guest area. Because in front there is a size for the pizzeria area, then there is a kitchen, and then there is the coffee area with the coffee machine.
Okay, now the objectors, do you have any questions of the applicant before you start your pitch? Yes.
So I would like to ask, good morning, I would like to, Mr. Nucci, thank you for that. Are you going to be selling alcohol to take away?
Yes.
Anything further?
No. No, I can just make a statement, thank you.
Okay, so now we'll go to the objectors. Amaya Sobrero, you will start?
Yes.
Okay.
May I finish to respond to this?
Yes.
Of course, madam. If somebody from home is ordering a pizza or a plate of pasta and wants a beer, and I don't offer that, they will go somewhere else.
Okay, I understand that, thank you. I mean, I just wanted that answer.
No, I just want to clarify.
And that's a serious problem, okay. So, would you like to stand up or am I okay sitting down?
You're fine, Susan.
Thank you.
As long as you project.
Thank you. Thank you, councillors. I have lived on a Creamorn estate for 34 years. I have brought up 3 daughters in the community. I'm a member of the Council for the Chelsea Society, and I was chair for the Creamorn Residents Association for 10 years. I have a great understanding of the dynamics of the Creamorn estate. It is a very overcrowded estate, built in 1954 with no insulation, no sound insulation. It houses 80% of the residents are deemed vulnerable by RBKC, as stated by Doug Goldring, CEO, at a recent public meeting. Many elderly, many disabled. We have 18 children's bedrooms overlooking the back of Mucci's, which is here. He's already put his name on it. None of the other 19 commercial premises have actually put that with a doorbell at the back. I am very pleased that you, and I'm grateful to Mr. Phelan, that it has worked to not have activity at the back, because commercial premises contracts state that all you have is delivery at the back. And given that you're doing takeaways, those would block the only exit we have for fire engines and for emergency vehicles, and for 250 properties, which is about 1,000 residents. We only have a narrow one-way, single lane street at the back that's very quiet. We don't have a lot of greenery.
Right, but he's agreed already.
Yes, so I'm very grateful to Mr. Phelan, his department, and yourself, because that was the main worry with us.
Right.
Thank you. Sorry. I will say that this is not a cafe. It has the exact same floor space and capacity as Mona Lisa. I've been in both, which already serves 44 covers at a time. What he's done is reconfigured how he does it, but the floor space has the capacity and nobody could stop it once it starts. I'm personally not opposed to him having a restaurant within, although I think 3 restaurants within 250 metres of each other is a lot for our community to taste, and commercial premises should have consulted the residents, but it hasn't on a change of use, and we are where we are. Right. Cafe is misleading to officers. It's really a takeaway. Selling takeaway alcohol and the effect on that on our children and our community. They can come at the back. It's a very secluded area at the back. It's a very peaceful area, overlooked by, as I say, 18 children's bedrooms, and come and drink it at the back. The police cannot cope with managing the back. Right. I will tell you why we know, because we've lived here. I mean, there are people here who've lived here 50 years. We as a community have suffered for many years the antisocial behaviour, when I say many years, about 30 years, drug dealing and violence. And I'm not suggesting that there's going to be drug dealing from the premises, but as a fallback of buying alcohol and all that at the back from the Riley Arms Public House, 3 doors down from this premises. And it took a great many years, 20 years in fact, to finally close it down. The Residents Association did it with Greg Hands and the police, Greg Hands MP, who was amazing. As a direct result of the closure of the Riley Arms, we now live in a residential area that has been transformed into a mainly safe and quiet area, free from violence and antisocial behaviour. I'm going to get quite emotional on that. If this licence is fully granted, right, we are likely to see a return of the noise and antisocial behaviour that we used to experience every day of the week, both on the pavement of the King's Road with a forecourt presence. We'll all be out there drinking, you go in, you buy alcohol, it's cheap, you have it on the, how are we going to manage that pavement? We won't be able to go past shopping, which is what used to happen. We used to cross the road when we used to go to Summerfield to go to the supermarket. They all used to congregate out 3 doors down and drink on the pavement at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. When you have football matches, where are they going to go? Right. With people congregating and drinking outside the premises and at the back on the premises of Anne Lane. Although he won't open it, that's where they'll go because they won't be seen. And it's very difficult. We don't have the resources. The police don't have the resources, which is not a public highway. Anne Lane is not a public highway. It is maintained. It's a private road maintained by the residents for it, and it comes out of the rent account. We clean it and we refurbish it. Right. Many elderly and disabled residents and families with young children live in the maisonettes directly above this premises. Hundreds of families live within 25 metres of the back of the premises on Anne Lane. Many children, I've already said that. That the licensee applicant wishes to open, play music, sell alcohol, have forecourt access and operate a takeaway service with alcohol, which is most frightening there, 7 days a week, all the time, most of the day until 11 p.m. from 11 a.m. is actually quite frightening. Could I just start? Can I ask a question? Is the selling of alcohol from 7 a.m. or from 11 a.m.?
12.
From 12 a.m. So from 12 a.m.
Not 12
p.m.
12 p.m.
No,
Midday.
from, oh yes, midday.
From noon.
From midday. So we can have now, it's taken years with the local police to get rid of the street drinking on our estate. And that will happen. I mean, there are very strict licensing conditions on the off license, 3 doors down, for selling cheap alcohol to homeless people. And I worked on that. This is in close proximity to vulnerable residents and young families. It's a great concern to our community that what we have endured for many years from the Riley Arms Public House, we simply do not wish to experience that kind of criminal and antisocial behaviour in our community again. And the police will be unable to manage it because they've spoken to me about it. I've had meetings about this. Out of the 19, because we already have 19 commercial premises that back onto the front of our homes. I mean, that is quite a difficult situation as it is. And we have agreements, community agreements. You must forgive me, but I haven't seen a lot of consideration for the residents in how you are addressing this. The councillor has pointed out quite rightly that the increasing noise at the front from motorbikes will create antisocial behaviour. And we mustn't have the urination. We used to get it all the time at the back. Because although we are social housing residents and we're poor, we deserve to live in a clean, quiet and safe environment. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We'll now start with questions. Do you want to go through all? How many others want to speak of the objectors? Or do you just want to answer questions?
I'm happy, thank you, just to ask a few, just to make a few comments if that's.
Okay,
Your name again, sorry.
Regina?
Copeland.
Oh,
Yeah.
Copeland.
Your name, sorry, I didn't get the name.
Hope man, yes.
Okay.
I'm in no particular order. I'm not totally with that there have been no complaints made about the other restaurant. I would like that looked into,
Well, we have Mr. Freeland who can answer that.
yeah.
If I could check with Lindsay, if that would be okay to do in light of each application on its own merit.
You're right, each application does need to be considered on its own merit, but there is a link, it's under the same ownership. So if you could just say, just in brief, if there have been any complaints lodged with the council just for the restaurant, and obviously Moochie's restaurant, but obviously we are considering this on its own merits, and it is a different kind of enterprise, albeit under the same ownership, just factor that in.
So I can confirm that there has been complaints logged on the system. What I can't confirm is whether or not those complaints were witnessed and what action was taken. That would require some work to get to the bottom.
What were the dates of the complaints?
So the most recent complaint the system is showing, it relates to building services plant noise. That was on the 20th of May of this year.
Right.
There was a further complaint that was to noise and nuisance regarding music in October 2024. There also seems to be one further complaint going back to 2023. So there appears to have been two complaints in the last 24-month period.
But you don't know if they're substantiated.
I don't know if they're substantiated. I don't know what action was taken.
And the plant would be, a complaint about the plant would be during the day.
This is specific to building noise. It may be
Yes.
done with works being done rather
Right.
than being to do with the extraction and whatnot.
Exactly.
That's a very vague outline of the complaint in relation to 442 Kings Road.
Right. And then the music,
And the music complaint was on the 13th of October of last year.
what was the complaint?
I couldn't find out from the chair one month.
Did you say there were two music complaints, one in 23 and one in 24?
Yes, one towards the end of 23. So the music complaint, again, I'm not able to say it was substantiated, but it appears that they were woken, the individual was woken up at approximately 4:28 a.m. But again, that's the time the complaint was logged. It doesn't actually specify what time they were woken up at, but that is the time the complaint was logged.
Right. And what's your license over there? To close at Moochie's one?
Moochie's never close at 4 o'clock ever. Our customers, the kitchen closes at 10:30. Our customer leaves at midnight. I never heard of those complaints. Mr. Phelan, you will have to share that with me. There is no recollection whatsoever that I've ever been made aware of this. It sounds like hearsay to me.
Well, what I can do this is just put you in contact with the team that dealt with
Yeah.
that, which was noise and nuisance.
This is unfortunate because if I knew, I would have prepared myself. But this is, I'm sure that you can tell if this was to be followed up, those
Well,
complaints.
first of all, we're not reviewing Moochie's
No,
one.
but it's not nice to hear these
I
things today.
understand, but we are professional here and we know to separate any time if this application is being tinged by or influenced by other. Believe me, we know when it's being influenced by other premises, not yours. There's other evidence that also is irrelevant, so don't worry.
And we need to factor in that it's not been substantiated.
Precisely.
That's
I
right.
think that's the overriding fact. There's no
Exactly.
evidence that it's been substantiated,
Yeah.
but it has been logged but not substantiated. So
Precisely, there was no further action on that complaint either. So as I said, it was received but not substantiated.
And when was
What does
Riley
it mean? Sorry, what does it mean, no substantiated?
proven.
wasn't proven? It just means somebody wrote in.
Yeah.
So what are we saying? Let me understand this, is that you have somebody calling up and saying there is a complaint, but it didn't follow up.
Well, they followed up and maybe they found that it wasn't
Exactly, so,
substantiated.
exactly.
It
So,
could have been, if it was at 4 a.m, it could have been another premises.
exactly, so why mention it? I don't understand.
I think it was a question I was asked.
Yeah.
But I think to clarify, Mr. Mucci, what Mr. Phelan saying, that the complaint that was logged, which is not proven,
Yeah.
was logged saying that whoever logged this complaint was, that it was coming from Mucci. But it's not
Councillor,
been proven.
Councillor, with all due respect, I think that the resident, she was referring at official complaints, official problems, not just, say, how many official problems that there were. You will know the technical language, there were then
Don't
following.
worry, don't worry. Let's move
How
on.
many we have?
We're going to move on because we are going to move on because the first Mucci's is not under review here.
Yeah, but
We're right, don't worry,
it
drop
doesn't, it
it,
doesn't look
drop
good.
it. It doesn't look bad, just drop it, okay? We're moving on to how it affects and what we can do about your license and Mucci's Pizza Cafe. Okay?
Thank you.
So just know when to drop it, please. Okay, next.
As previously been said, Anne Lane is very, very badly insulated. My son owned the flat above, and he has a young child, and has decided not to live there on the basis that 10 o'clock at night for noise to go on, a young child, baby, is going to be woken up for sure. The noise you can hear a lot, and for people to have deliveries and bikes and everything that will be going on with the music, to have a young child living above Anne Lane within the area of the cafe is just unacceptable. It's just it would be a nightmare, to be honest. And what I would like to know is who's going to govern, who's going to run the cafe? I mean, Richie, will you be there running it? Who's going to be in charge of everything that goes on there? I mean, things like how many staff will there be there? You're saying the staff will be properly trained. The police, as we all know, are quite scarce, and you're saying you're going to work closely with the local police. And how are you going to ensure that there is no noise? Who's going to look after all these situations? And saying there'll be no noise, inevitably there will be. It's all very well to say we won't allow noise. How are you going to stop it?
Well, presumably you'll have a designated premises supervisor. correct?
We do,
Yes.
Who'll be there the whole time?
of course.
Okay. Next,
Thank you.
anyone else want to make a statement before we go into questions?
Well, I've just got a few questions. Is that a statement or is that the question?
It's a statement.
It's a statement.
It's not a statement, sorry, it's a
Is that a
question.
question?
A question is a question.
Okay, I've got a few.
Okay, so we'll wait till we get to the questions, okay? And you?
I'm fine.
No.
Okay, so now, first of all, the committee will ask the objectors questions.
Thank you, Chair. I will ask Ms. Copeman a couple of questions. You have said that Anne Lane is badly insulated, and your son, who used to live there, but he no longer lives there.
Sorry, he didn't used to live there. He owned the flat
Right.
and was talking about going to possibly move in. He had it let for a few months.
Right.
And he and I discussed it, and he has a daughter aged 15 months and a new baby coming. And part of the reason for not wanting to move in was because of the impending situation. I think it's underestimated how much of a worry this is to the residents who are within, say, a certain distance of the restaurant, the cafe,
And that flat will be right above
Right.
Mrs. Capper.
above it, right on top of it.
Right, okay. Okay, and then the other, and do you live on the estate?
No, I do
No.
not.
Okay. And then, so this is just to clarify,
Mhm.
it's more of an assumption that the noise would be, it hasn't been proven.
It hasn't been proven because it isn't open.
Okay, so, yeah, okay, so it's, but at the same time, if Mr. Mucci were to take enough, controls and, put everything in place, then that might not be the
But he
case.
can't, people being there, a child, for when young children are sleeping, he obviously can't control when people are making a noise and when deliveries are being made. And it will be noisy. And fine, if you're a night owl and you like it, I mean, the thought for me of hearing noise at 7 o'clock in the morning fills me with horror, actually.
Would you consider if there was very good engagement between the residents of Cremona Estate and Mr. Mucci, regular meetings, so you have a good relationship, because would that appeal to you? I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, I think first of all, Ms. Copen doesn't live there.
No,
That's
so
number
is that.
one.
No,
So let's
thank you,
talk
Chair.
about residents who are there to meet.
No,
with them.
thank you, Chair. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yes.
And I had a couple of questions for you, Miss
Can I
Chibrera.
throw, sorry, Councillor.
No, not at all.
Can I throw some light on what Ms. Copeland was saying? So I've
Sure.
lived there 33 years, was chair for 10. While I was chair, I attended several licensing hearings for Frantoio's restaurant. So Frantoio's restaurant is down the road,
Right.
from a lady who lives above, and we all attended and spoke because the noise from downstairs can be heard. Chairs dragging, not music, he hasn't got music, but I mean, it's been resolved, he's been there a long time, and I'm not here to speak, but it's just that it's a comparable situation. So there's no insulation, because in 1954, and this gentleman stated he's not going to put any insulation in. So it's going to be an ongoing problem for the residents that live above, some of them very elderly. I mean, they're not here. We've got people in wheelchairs up in Ann Lane who are at home all the time. This is almost a 24-hour situation, not quite, but nearly there. And it's quite a worry. I mean, I am relieved that certain conditions that Mr. Pelham's department has stepped in, are very grateful about the back. The other thing, can I just mention, I've forgotten, right? Can we ask for, if it's granted, that the motorbike riders turn off their engines when they
That'll
are
be part of our condition.
stationary? Yeah.
That'll be part of the condition session at which you will be invited to join,
There will be another session.
right after this.
Thank you, Councillor.
That's very important. We want everyone to be happy.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's keep order here.
Okay.
Anyone else have, Mr. Benton, do you have any questions? Counselor, well, you're still a Mr.
It's true,
Counselor.
I meant many things. Thank you. Yes, I just wanted to dig down a little bit on this question of drinking, because so you've worked a lot with the off license, right? So, and you said a couple of times cheap alcohol. Are we saying that the alcohol you can buy at this cafe is going to be comparably cheap to an off license?
So the off license, we've had lots of problems with the off license, which is about 3 down the road. And I'm not suggesting that Mr. Mucci is going to be the same. But what you have is, because we have a secluded area that's open to the public off the King's Road, you go through some undercross and then you have lots of little hooks and crannies, which are our homes. So we get flooded with street drinkers, fighting, drug taking off the back of street drinking, and we have a real worry about it. So they have conditions. The off license has serious. Well, they've closed it. The licensing team closed it for a while, and I don't know if they're still about. You have police officers based. You have a team for a homeless team had police officers. I used to work with them very closely to visit him there, because he was selling alcohol to homeless people, which is just, despicable. Now, they've all gone away. We've closed the Rileys. We've put conditions on the license, taken many years of work by residents and by our lovely MP, Greg Hands, who's amazing, and the police, Tim Otway, Sergeant. That's all gone away. we have a very, we have a very safe area. 10 o'clock at night, you don't have any of the problems you used to have. And now we're going to have premises on our doorstep, because this is not separate. He is, if you see the other map, he's right on us, selling alcohol almost 24 hours a day.
I understand. So I understand what you're saying. It's yes.
Not to eat. If you're eating,
I understand that.
that's
So
fine.
my question is really more that. So here's what I'm trying to dig into. I don't see those two as comparable types of establishment at all. I don't see an off license where a beer costs a pound, as similar to a place where you have to go into an eating area and spend 4, 5, 6, 7 times that.
I agree.
Right. So what I'm asking you is if you see a connection there, I don't see it. So to help me see it.
So Mr. Mucci has stated he is going to have takeaway alcohol. You can walk in and buy alcohol without eating.
Excuse me, he's also said he's going to have a challenge 25.
What's that?
That's where you have
Sorry.
to. He's not selling to underage. You have, if you look under 25, you have to show ID.
But what's that stopping a 40-year-old coming in, buying alcohol, going to drink it at the back, or a group coming at the back, sitting on our stairs, urinating, which is what used to happen. So he's selling alcohol like an off license.
Well, they could do it anyway.
No, they don't anymore. They don't have the premises there, and they don't have the area anymore.
Right. Okay.
It took many years to get rid of. Our children deserve better.
Of course.
So I'm not opposed, I personally, I'm not opposed to him selling alcohol with food from 12 o'clock on the premises. I am opposed to as a takeaway, yes, off license. I mean,
All
I've
right,
never,
let's discuss that at the conditions, okay?
thank you.
Right. Okay, what I'm hearing is a lot of fear. I understand. It's very concerning. You're worried about your grandchild. I understand all of that. We need some concrete. It's not fair to anyone unless you give us something concrete. You cannot compare a cafe with 3 tables to the former Riley's. You cannot compare it to Mona Lisa that has 44 covers.
I agree.
Okay, so I think we have to acknowledge that.
Can I answer?
Should I answer that? There's nothing to answer.
Well, he's saying it's a cafe. I've never heard of a cafe selling alcohol, especially 7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
A lot of cafes sell.
No, they don't
It's an
sell alcohol.
Italian
Yes, we
cafe.
do. We do.
With
we deal
food,
a lot of-
sitting down.
We
but
deal with a
not
lot
on
of
a
cafes
selling
that are in a
out.
similar
Yes.
sort of model, yeah.
And he has the capacity for 40. He's put 5 tables. He has the capacity for 44 covers.
Well, the outside tables will be closed before. He doesn't have the capacity for.
No, he does
44.
inside, councillor.
With 3
I've been
tables?
inside. No, he's put 3 tables to
Yeah.
show, but he has the capacity to put no extension. It's exactly. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Everything's a potential here.
No,
I
he
think
doesn't
we have
have to. Yeah, the floor space is exactly as the Mona Lisa. He's got some fridges. He's put some tables to make it. There's nothing stopping him putting more tables in. So, and I'm not opposed to that.
He's not serving standing customers. Will you agree with that? He said it.
I don't know.
He has said it.
It's to seated.
But he is
He said
selling.
it's to seated customers.
But he's selling a takeaway service of alcohol. That is, they're not even there. They could go at the back, they can sit on the King Road, they can urinate at the back.
Jesus.
Let's go to the condition section, but obviously there is a limit to how much can be conditioned. I understand where you're kind of going beyond what can be conditioned, but in terms of a license, you can't, obviously once people have left the premises, then, and obviously there'll be a delivery policy, there is a limit to how much you can put onto conditions. They've got to be enforceable at the end of the day. That is the issue.
Excuse me.
It's also just in the name of we all want everybody to be happy. I don't think the situation describing would be particularly amenable to the applicant either. I don't think that's a situation that he would like either, to be selling alcohol without a meal to somebody who drinks it out the back.
Well, you said it's going to do takeaway alcohol.
I understand, but a lot of places do not all takeaway alcohol is the same. It's not all like an off license. I think it's. Okay, well, if this is beyond you, then we can move on to the conditions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, councillor.
Yeah.
Very great.
Would you like to ask questions?
Yes.
To the objective.
Yes,
Yeah, when you say the potentially I can have 40 plus covers, how do you know that?
Plus, not plus. You have, it's the same size. All the units, I've been round all the units.
Yeah, have you seen my unit?
Sorry, can I finish?
Have you seen my unit?
Can I finish? Thank you. So with Miss Adivali, who's the head of commercial premises on various occasions, you have the extension to the back. So you don't have a courtyard anymore at the back, which is what the original was. So your what do you call it? Your footprint is exactly the same as Frantoio's, and now, I am not opposed to used to having people sitting down eating inside. I don't mind sitting down eating inside. It is the other activities that I worry, but I worry about naming it a cafe, because in the mind of officers, they think, oh, it's just a cafe. Not a cafe, you're selling alcohol, you have takeaway, all hours.
we have that at many applications that we get.
We have 19 commercial, councillor. We already have 2 restaurants, almost next door. And we live at the back within 25 metres. And we're not
But
saying
this
don't
isn't
have it.
planning. First of all, it isn't planning here. This is licensing.
I understand.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And the waste, can I say something? You say
We'll
you,
discuss that at the conditions section.
sorry, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Thank you, Chair.
Yes,
Just ask one question.
yes, please.
Miss Chabrera, you say Anne Lane, or was it Miss Copeman? One of you said that the Anne Lane is actually demised to the estate. Am I correct?
Yes,
Right. So that's
part of our estate.
right. So that's RBKC property. It's
Yes.
not highways.
It's
It's
not
not.
highways.
Right. Okay. So the maintenance of that is RBKC responsibility.
It comes out of the rent account. We pay for the upkeep, the paving, the cleaning, all of it. And the cleaning is a real consideration, the bins and everything at the back, because we already have problems with restaurants putting industrial waste at the back. I have with commercial.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one other question, sorry to interrupt you. You are opposed to the back entrance, the door, being labelled Mucci's.
No one else has done it, and he's done it with the doorbell because he was going to original. I'm not opposed to it. It's not a big deal. Okay. Well, I was opposed to it before you've agreed very kindly not to use the back, because what it was for is so the riders could that. So he can keep it, but it can't, as he said, he can't use the back for commercial premises because it's our homes.
Right. So you're happy for the Mucci's.
Well, just as long as they don't use it. I mean, if they use
I just
the
need you- I
staff
just
to
need
come
you
in
to-
and out, obviously,
Sure.
just like everybody else.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you want.
I do live above the arch, which
You
is two
are
doors.
Dina Stevenson?
That's right, yes. And I live above the arch, which is 2 doors down from Mucci's, next door to the Chelsea bike shop. And very relieved that the delivery bikes are going to be on Kings Road and not Anne Lane. But what we are worried about, and we live next door to each other, is, which I don't know how you can police it, but the noise of standing lights, delivery drivers having a quick fag outside, because in the summer all our windows are obviously open. So that's the first thing, how you can police that. Also, if everything goes well for you, you have queues of people for pizzas.
Sorry,
Which would be great.
you can make statements. He can ask you questions now,
Oh, sorry.
okay?
Sorry. So,
You've had that.
and well, my other concern is queues of customers below, again, smoking, waiting, and hopefully you will have queues of customers. And we live above the arch, and when it's raining, obviously delivery drivers are going to shelter, and there are 3 arches, I think, along Kings Road on the Anne Lane side. And So it's natural for them to want to shelter from the rain. But pedestrians go through that. So whether it's children, elderly people, people go through that the whole time. And it's very tempting for them to shelter under that. And if there's no room to have a pee anywhere, go and have a pee there as well, which is pretty unattractive.
Well, he just said the drivers are going to be able to use the cafe.
As long as it, which is fantastic.
Yes.
So that my concern really is the arch and the queues of drivers or customers outside, hanging around, smoking fags with our open windows. Yes.
Yes, can you show us on the map
Where is the arch?
where, yes, exactly. Where is this?
That's it. Yeah. So to the right, you see 25. So you've got the blue thing there. That's the arch that goes, and I'm
The
to the right
blue
of
is
the
the
arch.
premises,
There's an arch next to it.
and there's an arch next to it, okay?
It's an arch next to not the premises.
Chelsea
No.
Bike.
There's Chelsea Bikes, one shop between.
Can you do Google Street View? That might be the answer.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.
And can I just say, at this point in the proceedings, it's the objector asking, it's the applicant asking the objector questions, not.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
So it's, you kind of reverse it. We've done your bit. It's for Mr. Mucci to ask you questions on your objections.
Okay, so we get the point. And also, as far as who goes under the arch, if there are a lot of pedestrians, they might go under the arch. People from the bike shop could go down. I'm sure, what time's the bike shop open?
9 o'clock.
So, but they start putting those bikes outside, don't they?
Yes,
And
next
they
door.
close at 5 o'clock.
Right.
But then it's not an arch. Can I just clarify?
It's a
There are
walkway.
three-
I
know.
there are three undercroft
It's a walkway.
that are maintained by us and cleaned by our cleaners. And they are the only entrance to the estate. So we've paid for the lighting in there, we paid for CCTV, and it's taken a long time to get rid of the staff from Frontoyos and sitting in them, on the stairs of them, and from people drinking from the off license, because it can be frightening for residents coming in.
May
So
I
that's-
ask a question?
Yes.
My question is,
I was just clarifying.
no, I understand, this is our time.
Thank you.
So, I mean, just to be sort of optimistic, right? Is there a situation you can foresee where a business that is, you know, very much in consultation with residents, which listens to you, which it does all the stuff that you'd really wanted to do, would actually, well, sure. So is there a situation you can imagine where that would actually, given they're open later, would actually deter people you don't want hanging around drinking outside, all of that stuff? Because that is usually, it is much less appealing to hang around, in my experience, a place where, you know, there are staff coming in and out, it's occupied, rather than a shop which is closed at 5 and there's no one around, right? So is that something you can imagine? Or less imagine?
You must forgive me, I have no need to give you my experience of working in the community and living there for 33 years. An open, so someone that's selling alcohol will attract the wrong kind of people. I'm not talking about sitting and eating, I'm talking about, going in and buying. They'll come at the back and in the dark, because we've had it before for many years, that's why the experience is there. The restaurants we have don't. And we've established a great relationship with, after many years of difficulty, with.
Yeah, excuse me, the objector now has to, the applicant, it's his turn to ask questions.
Yes, he asked me a question.
Yeah, but you're lecturing, you're not answering.
No, it's fine to answer it, thank you.
I'm just conscious that obviously
Of course.
the objector's having a lot to say, and I want Mr. Mucci also,
That's
and I
not
want it to be a
fair.
fair proceeding for everybody to feel, and at this juncture it is.
Can I ask
Mr.
a
Mucci
question?
to ask the objector
Thank you.
questions.
Has anybody of the objective seen my lease?
No.
Has anybody seen the actual venue?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Yes. So in my lease, the council allow me a maximum of 10 seated customers. Is that what we discussed back in the days? So even if potentially, as you said, there can be 40, you're forgetting about downstairs, there can be 80 then. So you could, standing, you could put 200 people. But the reality is that in my lease, that was discussed for months with the council lawyers, I'm only allowed up to 10 seats. It's always been like that. There's never been a possibility ever. Even if I knock everything down, because as you know, seen the premises, there are solid walls. The kitchen that we saw before is taking 60% of the space. The pizzeria is taking another 30%. The only guest area, which I showed you here, in reality, it's only like 5%. So those seats, they're not just, how would you say, an opinion. They are a reality. You haven't seen the space you just mentioned.
No,
You haven't
we have.
seen,
We've seen
I
it.
have seen.
I've
you
seen
see
it.
how much space is in there.
Well,
You're talking
is that
about
a
the
question? I
walls.
can answer a question. Can
No, I want to ask you a question now. When did you see
Yeah.
the
Can
space?
so I walked in while your builders were in it.
Okay, and was
And
it built?
recently,
Was it built?
yes.
Okay, so
No.
where do you see?
Can I just say, I did try and explain, and I'm sorry if it hasn't come across, right? I was saying that has the potential.
No, it's
Now,
not.
I don't have an objection to you having 40 covers
I can't,
inside.
by the lease, I'm trying to explain,
Yeah,
by the
but it's not
lease,
a
I'm
cafe.
not, I can't, what do you mean it's not a cafe?
That's what I was trying to tell.
That's fair enough. I didn't-
According to you, it's not a cafe.
But it's not, if you're selling alcohol
Well,
all
we've
day,
had
it's not a
many-
cafe.
We've had many applications, and I'm not going to say it again, where cafes have asked to serve alcohol. So please, you are not the one to define what a cafe is, okay?
I have no further question, Council.
I think we're kind of heading towards the draft conditions session ultimately, because obviously everybody's got opposing sides, and I think we're just gonna,
3-minute break.
yeah, we'll have a 3-minute break and then we'll come back and then, can I just check everybody's seen the draft conditions that have been circulated?
Yes, madam.
Okay, fine, we'll have a break and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Said it in.
Yeah.
Oh, you can say the problem is it's
It's tough. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, well, nice.
I'm glad that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Thank you very much. Hope you all had time to look at the draft conditions and will participate. And you will participate. We want to see what we can come up with here. So our solicitor will start the session.
Obviously, these are draft conditions. The committee haven't made up their mind. It's just a tentative discussion. If they're minded to grant the licence, as we do with every single hearing. Obviously, Mr. Mucci has put in certain things into his operating schedule, which forms the first part, and I've just kind of turned them into conditions that could potentially be put on a licence. So I'm going to start going through the sheet. Mr. Mucci, I'd like, so number one, regular litter patrols. Are you happy with my suggested wording in red, which changes what you've said into a condition that we could put onto a licence?
We're already doing that. Yes, I'm very
Yeah,
happy.
so it's just translating it into a condition. Right. We'll then skip to number 5. So the wording is in red is the kind of wording that we would put on a licence as a CCTV condition, an ordinary one. Are you happy with that wording? Sorry, if the objectors have anything to say, please chip in as well as we go on. Are we on number 5 or are we on number 1?
1.
Okay, so what do you want to say?
So 20 metres is 2 doors down. As Mr. Mucci, and I'm sure we're going to work together in the future with residents and as a goodwill, we would appreciate, it doesn't have to be every hour, but, regularly someone come out and pick up all the pizza boxes around the estate is on Anne Lane, for example. 20 metres is two doors down. Doesn't do, and we paid for the cleaning on the Creamore estate. Sorry, I'll wait till you're ready.
No, please, I'm listening.
Thank you.
I'm ready.
So, yes, so it will, 20 metres does nothing for us. And we already have problems with waste. Terrible, because we've got 19 commercial premises who have access at the back and just put all their rubbish in our recycling.
Let's try to figure out what's workable.
Yes, so if they could have someone, it doesn't have to be every hour, but, maybe twice a day, come out, especially when you close, and maybe midday, come out and go around Anne Lane and just at the back of it, come up and down. It'll take someone 10 minutes to pick up all the pizza boxes and any bottles and cans from your estate. We don't have any at the moment, and we don't have a pizza place, so they'll be identifiable, and pick them up. We'd be very grateful. It's our front doors.
I think the committee can, unless you've got any comments on that, the committee will hear what each party has to say, and they will make a firm decision based upon what is reasonable, proportionate and enforceable at the end of the day.
Thank you.
Did you have anything to say on that number 1, Mr. Mucci?
No, it's perfectly fine with me.
Okay, so going on to number 5, because I've transposed 2 to 4 lower down. Are you happy with our standard CCTV condition and signage?
It's already in place.
It's already in place, but you're happy with that condition that I proposed?
Yes.
Okay.
It's physically already in place.
Okay, and the signage? Number 6, you said you'll have a refusal log. I'll just put it into wording. Are you happy with number 6? And have my wording in red? Oh.
It's already in place.
Thank you. Number 7, this is like the Challenge 25 policy and notices. Are you happy with that?
Of course.
Well,
Yeah.
on number 7.
Yeah.
So, if it is granted that he can sell, or the restaurant can sell, or the cafe can sell alcohol takeaway, would that, can I ask, I know that I'm not to ask questions, but would that be without food?
It's the problem with deliveries. It's very hard to put a condition on restricting deliveries because you can't always tell whether there's alcohol involved or not. The licensing committee is concerned with alcohol. They don't have any remit to restrict deliveries with alcohol.
Well, how can we, if it is, thank you. So how under 25, how do we know they're under 25 if we're selling alcohol?
That will be in the delivery policy. They will have to have measures in place to make sure that their delivery
do.
drivers only sell to people. So usually there's till prompts, or if people order over the website, there's usually something on the website. And also the delivery drivers, there'll be something in the policy to check.
I would also add that the delivery drivers could also, I mean, if I was to get alcohol from a delivery driver, it would be from a restaurant, it would be from any number of other options that Deliveroo would offer. It would be a very strange way to do it, would be spend £6 on a Peroni that would cost £2 from the supermarket, right? So that's why Deliveroo, for example, has its policy. Otherwise, kids would be just using Deliveroo to buy alcohol all the
Would
time
have been
from
banned
anywhere.
from the supermarket
Well, wherever. I mean,
locally.
well, sure, whatever supermarket, whatever smaller market, whatever
okay.
shop. I mean, that's why that's an issue that's sort of dealt with on a wider scale.
Thank you.
Moving on to number 8, you said there was staff training. Are you happy with my proposed wording in red regarding staff training to do with the licensing act?
Put it in place.
Right, going down to number 15. So these are the conditions that you have agreed with environmental health. I haven't made any changes to 15 to 22 because they're the standard wording. You've already agreed them, so unless you've changed your mind, I'll work on the basis they're agreed. Do any of the objectors have any concerns about 15 to 22?
I just want to have a question.
Yeah.
Number 19.
Yeah.
Will the applicant have a contract with RBKC Commercial Waste to pick up from the front?
Do you have a private waste collection or
Yes,
council?
well,
collection?
problem.
You can't come at the back.
And where will it collect from? Where will it collect
It
the waste?
collects from Liverton Street.
Lovely. And the waste from this from this cafe will go to Livingston Street?
Yes,
It will go across the road.
Liverton Street.
Lovely.
Oh, you're using the same service?
Of course.
Yeah, because of private
Well,
lanes,
well,
makes
yeah.
sense, makes sense.
It won't come on Anne Lane.
Liverton Street.
Thank you. Okay, so you can.
Can I just ask something, please, on that? I really do feel that the opening hours between those times are unacceptable if there are young children and if you are,
Are you talking about the 2021-22
Yeah.
conditions? Okay.
I think it will become a bit of a nightmare for people that are within sort of 4 or 5 properties above. And although I don't own it, my son owns, and I'm representing him for number 26. I think it would have been actually an impossibility to live there with young children.
The standard hours are till 11 p.m. ordinarily, and I think we've got 10 p.m. Obviously, it's for the councillors to make the decision, and obviously certain things are out of the applicant's control. Obviously, he's got a private refuse collector, so there is an element of control rather than the council collections.
I mean, building works don't start till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, that's the law.
Mm.
So to start at 7 o'clock, I think is incredibly early, particularly on a Saturday and Sunday as well. So you have no respite.
Okay, so Mr. Mucci, in relation to conditions 20, 21 and 22, would you be putting out, would you consider a later start than 7? Or would you prefer to keep the wording as it is?
Sorry, about 21 and 22 refers to refuse collection.
Is a rubbish, so I think rubbish, including bottles or cans, not put outside between currently 10 p.m. and 7. I think they're asking for something like 8 or something like that. Would you not? I mean, I think it depends on what time your private waste collection is.
The private collector, which is First Mile, collects at 10:30 every evening from Liverton Street.
Any
That's
other
it.
collections during the day?
No.
All right, so would you be
So the
willing?
waste, let me clarify, the waste is kept in the house all day long. We have no bins to take out. We have our big wheelie bins. They are in the restaurant. During the day, every bin in the restaurants, when it gets full, goes to the allocated area, which is not open. And at night, around 10 p.m., we bring them out, and after half an hour, they're collected from Liverton Street.
So
Sorry, if I may. I think you are talking about operating hours, not just refuse collection.
I'm talking about operating and collections
Yeah,
and deliveries.
yeah, exactly.
And just on one thing with that, where I live currently, there are building works going on next door. They are not allowed to start till 8. And I have asked for a sound, whatever, yes, to be installed so that it is guaranteed they do not start till 8 o'clock. And what I would suggest possibly is, once the hours have been agreed, that there is some sort of system installed so that if it was, say, 7 o'clock, there would be proof if it started at 6:30, we would know about it.
I think that would be for residents to complain. I think it'd be a bit disproportionate to have some kind of device on the what is. I mean, from what you're saying, you're not putting the rubbish out until 10 o'clock at night for a 10:30 collection. On that basis, would you be willing to change the opening times on 20, 21 and 22 to 8 o'clock? So you don't put rubbish out between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m.
That's redundant.
Sorry?
That's redundant because Mr. Ritchie said he only puts his rubbish out at 10:30 p.m.
10:30, okay.
Never
So
in
we
the
have-
morning.
Well, he puts it out at,
I
yeah.
think we're conflating here.
Yes,
There are
yes.
2 points here.
And we,
One is about refuse collection,
So
the
one-
second is operating
Yes,
hours.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Refuse
Let's keep the
collection.
operating hours separate. Let's look at these
Yeah,
conditions
let's
at the
just
moment, and at
do
the end
the-
we'll come to the operating
yes,
hours.
and also, I think we have to change where it
Yes.
says 22 o'clock, change it to 22:30, because that's
Yes.
when they come.
Yes, that's correct.
Can I ask a question on
Yeah.
that? Your waste is going to be kept inside the premises at the cafe,
Yes,
right? All the waste for all the day from 7 in the morning.
yes.
You have an area. Now, when you take it out, are you taking out through the King's Road or through Ann Lane?
Across the road.
So through the King's Road? Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so in relation to 21, as your rubbish collections at 10:30, I propose we change refuse collection shall not take place between 22:30 and 7, so that
Exactly,
it ties in. Because you won't be having a rubbish collection or putting rubbish out at 7 in the morning, are you willing to change that to 8 o'clock to appease the residents?
There's no rubbish out of the business anytime during the day. The only time is 10:30. You can do whatever you like. with
Okay,
it.
so you're not bothered if it's changed, so they're happy to have 8, he's happy to have 8 o'clock then. Okay.
Thank you.
And going to number 22, I noticed when you suggested the condition in number, what it was, in an earlier condition, you said deliveries to the premises shall not take place between 9 p.m. 7 the next day, but then I think Environment Health put 10. What is the latest time you have deliveries to the premises?
Oh, the latest one is 4:30 in the afternoon, 5 p.m. If a small artisan is late, it would come at 6 p.m. But it's very unfortunate because for us, as you can imagine, it's not good to get a delivery at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
We need the food in the morning,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay,
So
so
why don't we
you'd be
tweak that a bit?
yeah, so you'd be happy. So number 22, you'd be happy to change the time. So deliveries to the premises shall not take place between, you originally said 9 p.m. and 7. What times do you think are realistic?
9 p.m. is fine.
And what's the earliest time you get a delivery in the morning? Is it obviously you open at 7, so you might want to get a delivery at 7, mightn't you?
No, we can't, madam, we can't manage that. The companies, they come when they can. We can't tell them what time to come. They don't come in at
But
7.
you've agreed to a condition saying no delivery shall not take place between 9 p.m. and 7. So 7
Correct.
is, so you're happy that the earliest delivery time is 7 a.m. in the morning?
Well, yes, but they won't do it. They won't come there. at
Okay,
7.
so actually, so what you're saying is that normally it's delayed delivery.
Yes.
They never
yes,
come
the
at
first
7.
delivery
So
is-
would you be happy
Yes,
if you
of
changed that
course.
to 8
Of
a.m.?
course.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, number 23. So this is the delivery service policy. So I've kind of just hand up a little bit. Are you happy with the additional wording in red, the black and the red wording for number 23? And you also said, and I put it in as an additional condition about the couriers who collect food from your property can use your toilets, but not see the other couriers. Are you happy with 23 as it's worded with the red wording?
Yes.
is it possible to make the delivery drivers that are picking up the food to deliver to also be have this condition put to them that it's reasonable, it's going to be under people's windows that live above, and they're going to be there even more, so they won't play loud.
Sorry, what you're asking, I don't understand what you're
So,
asking.
so the motorbike
Yeah.
people that come and pick up the takeaways, which will be there all day,
Yeah,
up to late in the evening, if they could, comply with this condition as well. So not just delivery drivers, but also motorbike riders. The collection.
I mean, there's a limit to how much. I mean, obviously, you will have a contract with Uber Eats or whoever you decide to go with, and so he can supply them with a copy of the licensing policy, because obviously they will employ the drivers. You will have indirect control over the drivers, but you won't have direct control over the drivers. So it's just that
So
balancing.
he's not responsible for the motorbike riders that are delivering the food and picking it
Well,
up.
he does. If they're loitering, he can ask them to move on.
Oh.
But obviously, they're not his employees, so you have to strike a proportionate balance.
So could they not be included in this when you say delivery drivers?
We don't control them. They're
So who
independent
controls
drivers. We don't control
Uber
them.
Eats, and also you have to bear in mind that we're only controlling the alcohol aspect of
Yes.
taking. We've got no control over it. If Mr. Mucci wasn't applying for alcohol or recorded music, but they could come whatever times. We have no control over them whatsoever.
Do you get the point that they're not under our auspices, they're not employed by him? But what he can do is control how they behave in front and in his premises.
Well, that is what I'm suggesting,
That's
that they
fine.
behave in
Yes.
front of his premises, that they will not cause noise disturbance to the occupiers of any residential property surrounding the delivery address and outside the premises, for example, by not having their engines on, playing loud music, shouting. I think that's reasonable.
Which is why I put it on.
You put delivery drivers, including the motorbike drivers.
Well, that is
Everything,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Delivery drivers, they can come any-
Food deliveries.
No, no,
I'm
no,
so
no,
sorry.
no.
So
I do
well, we're talking about
apologise.
deliveries
Thank you.
from the premises here, not
Thank
deliveries
you.
to the premises.
Thank you so much. I'm
You're
so
welcome.
sorry.
No, we can only condition what we can
Good, thank
have the
you.
power to condition.
I thought you were thinking that.
Okay, so right now, so what's happened is we're going to 24 onwards. So I've obviously read the pack, as have the councillors, and I've obviously read the concerns. So obviously, this is going to be a cafe, and I know you just dispute that, but this is going to be a cafe. We have to add conditions that are proportionate. We can't start being every single conditional. We have to be proportionate. So I'm trying to focus on what the concerns are, and I've tried to suggest conditions to open in this discussion for the councillors to then consider. So one thing, so number 24, so in terms of on sales will be inside the premises. Off sales will apply to the little forecourt area, once you get paper license if you need one, and takeaway deliveries. So in terms of on sales, I haven't added it as a condition, but it's come out during the discussion. When people come into the cafe for on sales, are you happy to have a condition that they only have alcohol if they're seated inside the cafe? And you said it's not going to be a bar, no standing.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're happy, there's not a proposed condition, but for on sales to seated customers only. Okay, you're happy with that. So going to number 24, off sales, so that's the little forecourt area, the delivery drivers, the Uber Eats. So off sales there's two scenarios. In sealed containers and shall not be consumed on the premises, you've got on sales for that, or subject to you getting a highways licence, can only be consumed by customers seated at outside tables and chairs immediately next to the premises. So that limits the ambit of on sale or off sales. Are you happy with that? I think it would be overkill to, I mean, it's up for discussion about whether tying environmental health haven't asked for alcohol to be tied to food as well. This is a cafe, so it would be overkill to require alcohol sales to be tied to food as well as to seated customers. So that's what, can I have your views on that, please?
Do you understand?
Sorry, I'll probably.
Yeah, so we are saying that alcohol has to be consumed only by the seated.
Yes.
That's I agree. And but we're also saying that alcohol has to be sealed in containers for off sales.
Yeah.
I'm agree with that.
Yeah.
What was the last one?
It was just for when they're seated outside. So
Yeah.
obviously you're probably going to need a highways license, I would imagine.
Yes.
And what you normally find, but it's not for this committee's decision, when you get a highways license, they normally require you to to stop having tables and chairs outside at 10 p.m. at night. So
Yes.
that's usually the cut-off time. I know you're applying for 22:30. So that will probably mean we can discuss this. So just in relation to the forecourt area, not the delivery drivers, if you get a tables and chairs license, you'll probably need to have the tables and chairs brought in at 10 p.m. and you probably need half an hour drinking up. So in relation to the outside, drinking alcohol in the outside area, are you happy for that to stop at 9:30 p.m. to allow 30 minutes drinking up, 10 p.m. to bring the tables and chairs in? Because obviously there's more noise associated with outside than there is inside. Well, obviously there's the sound installation as well.
In my statement, I said I requested that alcohol be served with food from 12 p.m. to 10:30 p.m.
So you say that you're happy for alcohol sales always to be tied to food?
Yes,
Right.
but I shouldn't restrict the time as long as they're eating something.
So the alcohol sales for sitting in, eating the premises, sitting on the floor,
Can I just
through
say
the
something?
concrete,
Got it.
that will be addressed and dealt with.
Yes, well, first of all, you can make a complaint to Mr. Phelan's department. You would send someone out to check the vibrations, wouldn't you?
My understanding, Chair, would be noise and nuisance who would do that,
Yes.
especially from environmental
So
health.
you do, it's not like this is the end of it.
No, of course.
If we grant, you still are able to make complaints if there are issues. If there are issues, that's really your remedy. And then Mr. Phelan will have his department review what's pertinent. We will have licensing enforcement review what is pertinent. So you do have remedies.
Yeah.
And if it's really awful, you can call for a review of his license if it is a big breach.
How long does the license last for, please?
A review.
But it is compared to say planning, it's easier to revoke a license than it is to revoke an extension
right?
on someone's house. You know what I mean? So there is a sort of built into
Yeah.
the nature of it. It's something you can change.
You do have recourse.
Yeah.
But first, let's see.
Table and
May I
chairs.
say,
Yeah.
I would just like to make an observation. I think Mr. Ritchie comes across as a very responsible business person. I think the type of business that he wants to run is, that he wants to respect the community, and he's already done it across the road. And I think Mr. Phelan said there were 3 complaints, unsubstantiated, 3 complaints since he's opened the business. So I think that already puts him in a very good standing, in a positive, because he's and that's so that's the positive side on there. Your side, I can understand your side, because in the past you had terrible experiences. So right now you are nervous because and it's all hypothetical. One thing I would say is I think you sound very reasonable, engaged. I think it would be honestly, and isn't it not better to have a business of that standing than have an empty premises where you will get loiterers? You will get drunk in squatters, etc. And Anne Lane, of course, I'm sure he will happily, scoop it up if there are any boxes from him. But I don't think
Do the
Yeah,
walkabout
exactly.
at the end of the night, aren't you?
so.
Can I just
He hasn't
finalise one?
agreed to, he hasn't
He will.
agreed to.
I think he's not in my fence.
Yeah, he hasn't agreed to it.
Can I, just before we close, I think we're heading that way now. So just to confirm times, so you asked for 11 a.m. for alcohol sales to start, but you confirmed 12 now, not 11 a.m. That's correct.
Talking about the sale of alcohol,
Yes.
12 p.m.
12, so change that from 11 to 12. Now you've asked that alcohol sales to end at 10:30, and obviously then your shop will close at 11. Does anybody have any comments on the terminal hour, 22:30? Obviously the tables and chairs outside.
Does that change on a Sunday?
Well, he's asked from Monday to Sunday till 10 o'clock.
It's 7 days a week, isn't it?
Seven days a week, yeah.
I believe it's in turn. I think we should have a bit of a respite one day.
Do you have your views on, they're saying slightly
I think that those hours I proposed are the shortest of the whole area. I think that all the other shops and restaurants that sell alcohol, they have longer hours than me.
Okay, so you want to stay with the hours that you saw, okay,
Can
so.
can I just comment, all our restaurants, we have Frantoio's at 427 and we have Bella Lisa, have a day they close.
The off license close at midnight, I think, the sell alcohol.
It's not the same.
It's not for you to decide when he wants to close. If he doesn't want to close, he doesn't have to close. He can close earlier if he wants to voluntarily, maybe on a Sunday or a Monday. Would you be willing to close at 10:30 or 11?
Well, when we talk about the business hours?
Yeah.
I want to clarify one thing. This we're discussing today is just the license, it's not the actual reality. And you have to put yourself in the situation of a business owner. At the beginning, the place is not being open yet. The concept is brand new.
Exactly.
I'm trying to get a license, and then I'll have to work around. When I say 7 to 10:30, I'm just trying to get the permission to try to move the business around it. But most likely, for the footfall, for the area, and allow me for the current times. This is a suicide venture. I'm not going to be the optimistic guys. It's very difficult to keep open nowadays. There is no business at all. Not across the road, nowhere else. So maybe yes, I will try to open at 7 to see if somebody passed by to get a coffee, but eventually it will probably be 8:30, because to have a place that opens at 7 and closes at 10:30, 11, you still have to do cleaning after that. That means a lot of staff, manpower, a lot of cost, and probably you will meet at the end of the month. So today we're discussing the license. It would be nice if I could try to open at 7, and maybe if I see, like Mona Lisa, for example, that my business finish, my customers are not coming after 6, I'll be the first one to come at 6 p.m. It's a cafe at the end, but maybe there will be a different shift. Maybe people will start to come for lunch because they want to have a business lunch, and then I will do 12 to 10:30. But today I'm not saying the place will be open for sure from 7 to 10:30. I'm just applying for a license, and then we'll see, So I cannot tell you what time I'm closing. Sunday, Mondays now.
Fair enough.
Right, so you want to keep the hours sort of as is.
Oh, for now, I'm asking if I can.
And you want the flexibility, whereas you'd like a bit early on Sunday night to get a bit.
But
of
I just think it's fair.
I think it'd be fair for the elderly, the people that have children.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. You're not summing up here. Thank you.
Okay, and
We
then-
don't have summing up.
and one final question. I know we touched on it earlier, but I just want to be very clear. In terms of the recorded music, which is a licensable activity, but background music is not a licensable activity, are you still wanting to pursue getting recorded music?
Oh.
Bearing in mind, if you get the alcohol hours, it'll be deregulated.
I think Mr. Paul can help us. I think there is a bit of confusion. All I want is background music. I don't know the
That's
distinction.
right.
So
So
I
you
should
should
say
say that, just background.
Just
music.
background music, so you're not,
It's simple.
you don't
Yes.
want recorded music because, so you're
Can
happy
you
with
explain to me, please, what's the difference?
It's not great nomenclature. I have to say,
Sorry.
it's not great nomenclature, like amplified, recorded. Yeah, it's
I think it's
what
loud
background music is. I'm 99.9% you mean
You'll be
background
fine.
music. You're in a cafe, it's quiet, it doesn't interfere with conversation. That's background music. It's not recorded or amplified.
Oh,
It's not like a pub where you go and have music playing amplified or not amplified. So, and obviously they raise concerns about noise insulation. So obviously it's your decision to make, but from what you're saying, it sounds as though you just want background music. It doesn't sound as though you want to play recorded music. And obviously you're going to benefit from the DREG provisions anyway. So,
I'm happy with background music.
okay, so you're happy to withdraw the recorded music.
Could I just ask one thing, Mucci? Would it not be in your interest to have a noise detector installed so that people who say, yes, music was going on at 1 o'clock, that you have that guarantee or that proof that that was not the
Well, that's up
case?
to him. It's not something we can.
Then
You can't enforce it.
No.
It has to be with cause. So if there's lots of complaints, we can do
I mean,
that.
bear in mind, Environmental Health originally put in a representation and they withdrawn their representation. They're the kind of people that would ask for those kind of conditions. I mean, bearing in mind, this is a small premises, we've discussed a hell of a lot of conditions for small
Yes.
premises.
And that's one needs to do
Yeah.
with the economic viability
Yeah,
as a business.
it's a balancing
You know,
act,
it is,
isn't it?
it's a fine, fine. Right.
I would like to suggest, and you don't have to do it, but if we grant, I would think in lieu of engaging with the residents, that you offer residents a discount. I think it creates a lot of goodwill. It's just a suggestion. I've been in hospitality 25 years. I'm just suggesting. You don't have to do it.
It doesn't form part of this
Thank
hearing,
you
by
for
the way.
suggesting.
No, it's not part of
It's
it.
not part of
It's
the
not
hearing.
part of the hearing. It's not even an informative, it's just a suggestion and you don't have to do it.
Is it not on the condition?
Thank you, councillor, for suggesting.
Sorry? Yes,
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, we haven't finished.
Sorry.
Any, do the officers have anything to add?
Nothing to add from last inspection.
And that's lasting government, thank you.
Thank you. We've reached the end of the meeting. The committee now has all the information needed. We will retire to make our decision in private session. We will not announce the decision today. Instead, the hearing will be closed. A summary determination will be sent to the parties within 5 working days of today's hearing, and a full decision will follow as soon as possible thereafter. The time limit for appealing the decision will not commence until the full decision has been sent to the parties. Thank you all for attending. Thank you all for your contributions. They've been really helpful.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Will we get notification of the chairs and tables license when they apply?
I can have a chat with you when. it
Yeah,
comes to
please,
that's
so
the
that
best
we
way to
know.
stand up.
We didn't know about the last application. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh, I'm dizzy now. Did you come on back up?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's a different process. My
I'm
intention
sorry.
my intention is
Because I've
to-
got stuck in my car. I'm so sorry.
No, that's all right. Don't you worry. You're fine.
Are you fine?
Yeah, I'll get about something.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I've just got a lot of luggage. Okay, Deezy, you ready? Quite soon.
It's lovely to see you.
Nice to
Thank
see you.
you for coming.
See you later.